Ready? All right, it's case of D436896, Gellnar versus Gellnar. Counsel, appearance for the record.
Mike Peters, bar number 989 with Sandra Gellnar.
Robert Luke, 1489 with Charles Gellnar.
Mr.
Okay.
Judge Harder.
Yes.
For the record, I've consulted briefly with my client, actually since this thing initiated, and she's not able to hire me, and I would like to withdraw. I filed the motion.
That's fine. All right, you understand that, ma'am? He's making an oral motion to withdraw. Technically, he was the attorney record. And for the future, Mr. Peters, I know it's procedurally not correct, but in these type of circumstances, when you've been on there and you haven't really done anything, I'll accept a 46 withdraw, too. I know that's procedurally not correct, but
I appreciate. I know procedure.
You did it the right way.
And motion was filed. It's just,
I know.
Right.
But again, in the future, in this department, I realize the reality of it is you're technically on there just as a name, and if you want to do that in the future in this department, we'll go ahead and accept that as well. Appreciate you being here today, and we'll go ahead and relieve you.
I'll submit an order then.
All right. Have a good day. All right. Ms. Gellner, I assume you've received the paperwork.
Yes, sir. I received it Sunday evening.
That's fine. This is what we call I granted. And Mr. Luke, you and your client can have a seat if you'd like.
Okay, thank you.
You can too if you like, ma'am. We're relaxed in here. This was granted on what we call an order shortening time because it's sort of what we call exigent circumstances where I had to do something sooner than later. Let's kind of cut to the chase. You understand what they're alleging. Apparently you were in the process of taking Madison and Michaela to the state of California?
No, Your Honor, I was not.
Okay.
It is my intention in the future to move to California. I asked Charles for his permission,
Okay.
and he did not grant me my permission, so I was going to go through legal counsel or go through the courts to file for a relocation order. I have not been able to do that as of yet. This just happened, and Mr. Charles jumped on filing this motion right away.
Well, I would assume he would have some basis because people typically, if you'd said, I know what I need to do and et cetera, I don't know that he would have run out and hired Mr. Luke to have to come and file all this paperwork. So I'm guessing he had some sort of substance that he was going on that you were actually going to take off.
I told him what my plan was. It was not to do that until we went through the legal system. At this time, my fiance and I do maintain two residences, one in California and one in Las Vegas. And fortunately, I lost the home here in Las Vegas because he neglected to pay his child support starting the beginning of the year. But, Your Honor, what I would like to do, since this was just short notice and I have not been able to file my motion, my counter motion, I would like a little bit of time to...
That's absolutely fair. The only reason we're here today is they thought you were on the precipice of taking off to the state of California, given the history of the case, given the fact apparently the children have gone to school here. I wasn't about to let that occur. I mean, you understand what the allegations... I don't know whether they're true or not. To me, they're just allegations.
Absolutely,
But to
Your
take
Honor.
off and live in a campground and homeschool 8-year-olds... I wasn't about to let that happen. So if that's not what you were going to do, they're just allegations. We'll set another date. How long do you need to retain counsel?
2 weeks, sir.
That's fair. Mr. Luke, in the interim, I assume the children are enrolled in the same school they're at?
Yes, sir.
Attending?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They started school yesterday.
All right.
That's correct. She's been evicted from her apartment. I guess she came down this weekend, and she did come down to get her belongings out, so we don't know anything about where she's living. We don't know anything about any other alleged home in Las Vegas, where they're going to be in Northern California and all that stuff. So I was anticipating that this might happen today, so we're just going to simply ask the court to do a temporary change of custody of primary to the father.
Well, let me ask you, why would I, are you wanting to go back to your normal schedule while you're here? Or do you have a residence here?
Since I became evicted, I am living with a friend who I've been friends with for a very long time. We're staying with them until we get my court affairs in order.
Right. Well, if that's the case, if you don't have the setup, I probably am on a temporary basis going to let them stay the week with him. I mean, I'm assuming they have their own rooms at his house, things like that.
Yes.
All right.
My residents that I have now, my friend I'm staying with, they have their own bedroom. They have their own everything. It's
That's not their house, though, right? That's not your house. Why would I disrupt? See, we try to keep children consistent. We like consistency. Why would I throw them in a circumstance where they're probably already knowing what's going on? They're probably already stressed out. I'm trying to keep them as normal as I can. I'm not going to have them go stay at a friend's house with a bunch of people when they can be in their own bedroom.
I understand that, Your Honor, and I am a stay-at-home mom. I am with them 90% of the time. Charles works.
Okay. If you want to do that during the day, but at nighttime, can you take them to school in the mornings?
Yes, Your Honor, I can.
You can take them for the afternoon after school till he gets home. I want them in their own beds. Okay. I just want consistency. This is a temporary order. If you'd stayed in your home, they were still in your bedrooms, I wouldn't modify this whatsoever.
Okay. If
I wouldn't.
I understand, Your Honor. As far as me being able to take care of the children, he was ordered by his lawyer to stop paying child support.
Listen, I'm not taking anything other than the emergency type of stuff, meaning you have every right to file whatever paperwork you want, whatever paperwork regarding child support in your response to their paperwork. We're just here for an emergency hearing, basically to say you're not taking the kids to California, and if you don't have your residence anymore, I am going to modify it, at least for the next couple of weeks, where they're in their own beds. Okay, there's a process and procedure. And I'll be very candid with you, because your attorney will probably apprise you. If he contests this, which I'm guessing he will, it has to be set for a trial, and you're talking probably months, to be very honest with you, until you'll probably have a decision whether you can relocate to California. So I don't know whether you want to take that into consideration about your next, at least short-term plans. It doesn't mean you can't go ahead and relocate. A lot of people will go ahead and relocate and have to come back, but ultimately there probably will be a trial on the matter. I just want you to understand that. I'm sorry?
Yes,
Okay.
I understand that, Your Honor.
All right, are you sure 2 weeks is enough? I'll give you 2 weeks. If you think you need more, I'll give you more. I just don't want to come back in 2 weeks and incur unnecessary time and costs.
2 weeks is great.
All right, why don't we, Mr. Luke, does September 12th at 11 work for you?
I wouldn't know without looking at my calendar, and I'm not technically capable yet of doing it over my phone.
All right, contact my department immediately if for some reason it's not, but let's go ahead and I'll set you in September 12th at 11 a.m.
Here's my concern. Will we get any kind of a written opposition? Will there be
I don't know. She has again, this is order shortening time.
Right.
I've granted your emergency type of relief, gone a little bit beyond granting your client temporary given the current home circumstances. We'll be back in 2 weeks if she sets up different residence on a temporary. I don't know. We'll consider everything once she files her paperwork. She's indicating at this time she's going to retain counsel. Let me let you know your worst case scenario. I need you to file a written opposition. There's a self-help center located here within family court. I simply need something on that day. Okay. All right. Are we clear also about the schedule? She can have their girls, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Every day after school till evening. She needs to bring them back so they can go to bed at a good time, probably about 8. You need to do their homework, obviously, if you're going to have them in the afternoon. I want them to sleep in their own beds, and then I guess we'll
Does that work for you, or is that a problem?
No, that'll be,
Basically,
Okay, that'll work.
you're going to drop them off in the morning to school. You're going to get basically some additional time, but then we're going to keep your schedule on the weekends where.
where I have them the whole time. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Sorry?
can't I have them on the weekends? Since
You have 1 or 2 weekends, right?
I have one
Listen,
weekend.
the reality of this is
2 weeks, I understand.
they're just sleeping in their beds. You're going to have them. You're basically, because you're not set up to have it, missing waking them up, getting them, and taking them to school. That you're not getting, but that's the only part I'm doing. That's their sleeping hours. Okay.
Just to be clear, could we have this just Monday through Friday until we come back? So he has weekends off.
You know what? Right.
Yeah.
We're here in 2 weeks. Let me also. You've had them. When's the last time you've been in California?
He took them to San Diego on the 18th, I do believe,
Right.
and through yesterday morning at 9 a.m.
You had them.
No, because Charles has.
What are they doing?
She had them for almost 3 weeks prior to that.
Okay.
I
anytime this
had them
weekend?
the 4th through the 18th
Anytime
in
this
Northern
weekend.
California on vacation.
Just Luke, we'll be back here. I'll be Ken. We'll be back here in two weeks anyway. Sorry about that. We'll be back here in 2 weeks anyway. My intent is, if I do this on a more longer term basis, to probably alternate weekends. It is cutting into her time, so
So for right now, it's after
Right.
school, Monday through Friday, after school to 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock,
Okay.
and then I'm going to give you could not this weekend, but the following weekend you can have them. And then we'll be back the following week.
Thank you.
I'll alternate weekends.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, now,
He gets them this weekend. She gets them next weekend. The following week we're back in court, and we'll see if we're going to extend that schedule.
okay, so it'll be the weekend of, that should be September 8th or something like that.
Ninth.
Again, he gets them this weekend. She gets them next weekend, which is actually a holiday weekend, so she'll have through Monday.
But this weekend's the holiday.
I'm sorry, he'll get them. He'll have them through Monday. Next weekend after, which is the 14th through
It
the
wouldn't be that far out.
16th, and then we'll be back on the 19th. Sorry.
No, this weekend is the first, second, and third, or fourth, something like that, and then the following weekend is around the 8th.
We've only got one weekend in between, don't we? What date did I
No,
give
there
her?
would be
12.
two.
Yeah, no, that's right. She will get the 7th, the weekend of the 7th through the 9th. No, not this weekend, following week. Then we'll be back.
Okay. And what time, in other words, if she picks up,
Sorry.
just to be clear, pick up on Friday and then return by Sunday at 8 o'clock?
Yes. She'll have Friday after school till Sunday at 8 p.m.
And then could we get an address where she will
Yes,
be?
that's what I was going to ask you. I need, for service purposes, because if we send a notice out to you, I need an address and then also a contact telephone number.
And Charles has that, by the way. I gave it to him.
Okay. Let me also let both of you know whether you consider, as long as your kids, as long as this court has jurisdiction over your case, whenever you change your address or telephone number, just like you also need to notify the court.
Your Honor, we're checking right now to see if she actually provided him with an address.
Well, she's going to put it on the record anyway, so.
Pardon?
She's going to put it on the record right now
Okay,
anyway,
that's,
so.
that's what I was.
And on August 25th at 7:24, I provided him with. the
Okay, listen. We need it anyway.
I know.
We need it anyway.
Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
It is 5297 Thistle Wind Drive, Las Vegas, 89135.
Would you spell the name of the street, please?
Thistle?
Thistle,
T-H-I.
T-H-I-S-T-L-E,
Way?
Wind,
Wait, oh,
W-I-N-D, Drive.
Drive, Las Vegas, 89135. He has her cell number.
We need it. Is the same phone number with us, yours?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Madam Clerk, you want to affirm that with her, which one it is?
702-319-1240.
Nope, say we didn't have that. You guys need to keep us updated. As long as your kids have jurisdiction over your kids, you need to keep all of that updated.
It was 702-319.
1240.
Okay. Your Honor, in the interest of time, can I submit an order that does include all the 3 pages of boilerplate about the...
If you'd like to, Mr. Luke, well, it's only getting us for 2 weeks. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
realistically, by the time you get it back, it'll be a week. But if you feel you can, yes. I'm not going to require it, but if you want an order from today, feel free to submit one.
No, I'll submit an order. I just, in other words, saves 3 pages by not including all that boilerplate stuff. So.
We'll be good.
And I'll send down the order probably tomorrow.
Okay. All right. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Let's have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.